loading up the hearse, throw it in reverse. I come from the church of the Marvel Universe. Bodies getting stuffed in the bag.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Cryptcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Brian.
And we are coming to you from the...
Comic Crypt, where we always come from.
Oh, right. Yeah, that place. Sorry. I just had a stroke. And we've got a book review this week. We are taking a look at The Many Deaths of Laila Starr by Ram V. Filipe Andrade.
Andrade. Filipe Andrade.
And it covers...
How cool of a name is Ram V?
It is.
It sounds like a car.
Dodge, right?
Like,
Dodge Ram?
Like when you go home, are you in a car? And you just like live in your garage. You don't even go into your house. You just...
Covering issues 1 through 5, originally published in 2021.
What'd you think?
Oh, you got me first. I think it was okay.
I loved it. You know what it says right on the cover there? Will Eisner nominee.
It's a nominee. It didn't win, though.
So fuck you.
It was okay. There was things about it I liked. Ultimately, I felt like it was kind of like somewhere in the middle for me.
I loved it. I think it was one of the best things I've ever read.
It's crazy. Why?
Just, you know, it's a god, you know, and you would think gods have like everything figured out, you know, like they'd be above like human life kind of shit, and like feeling stuff and whatever.
Well, pause. That's like a Christian like Abrahamic god kind of vibe. When you deal with anything like this, where there's a pantheon of gods, no, they're all just people with extra powers.
But like they're not. She doesn't. She has to figure it all out.
Mm-hmm.
Like she has to like figure out feelings and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's real interesting the way that she's tethered to the other main character, Darius. Death gets fired because a child who is prophesized as finding a cure for death.
He's going to create immortality.
Is born, and her job's going to be obsolete. So she gets fired, and she's death. She's existed as long as eternity has. Like she is around from the creation, you know. So to see something that old and something that powerful be so humbled and have them humbled through the experiences of life is kind of interesting, you know. Like you wouldn't think that they would even care that much, and to watch her start to care or figure it out, you know, like...
Well, she was forced to care.
Because her firing... I mean, she was forced to care because she became mortal, so her existence now becomes temporary, and there's a little more gravity, you know, a little more importance and value to her life, like that it could end, even though you find out that Prana is the god of life who keeps bringing her back, you know, and even that was limited too, because by the last time he brings her back, he says, he's like, you know, like people get mad at me for doing this.
Yeah, he had to pull a favor. Yeah,
like he kept pulling favors.
Yeah,
you know, so just that, and there's so much to interpret in it too. Was like Prana in love with her?
Yes.
You know, because at one, you know,
because life and death is the back and forth.
Right, but he's not fawning after her throughout the book. She's on her own mission and her own journey, and every time she dies, he brings her back. Mm-hmm. You know, and she wakes up with him, and he just kind of sends her back out to do the thing because she's got this.
Yeah, he gives her a helping hand here and there. Like, hey, I found out where this dude. Like, yeah.
And at one point he says the words. At one point he's like, what am I without you? You know, but like he leaves it at that. There's no like there's no mortal form of like showing affection. There's no like you know, they don't do anything even seemingly intimate until the very end when he walks away with her on the beach.
Right, but I think that's a product of them being immortal. Is he has the patience. He could just wait around until she's ready.
Sure.
Very casually be like, this is how I feel. Whenever you're ready.
Right, but he doesn't even like present it like that. He's not like, I'm here waiting for you. The only thing is that he says is that like, I really have no existence without you. Life has no importance without death. Like,
Sure.
If we don't lose life, then it's not precious.
But he's also, he's going out of his way to like help her in a way that's like, oh, okay, there's clearly something there.
Yeah, but he's not meddling in the story. He's
No,
on
not
like
at
8
all.
pages in the whole book.
No, effectively he's a storytelling device because
Right.
he's like, this is happening to you. I'm going to take care of that aspect for you.
Yeah, like he's as important as a reset button. Like he's try again. And I like in the very beginning how it starts with like the woman in the backseat of the car giving birth and the girl at the party and like how these things are all gonna like tie together, and because the girl at the party that falls out the window, the boy that's staring at her is Darius, and the girl who falls out the window is Layla, and what?
Wrong.
What's wrong?
The girl who falls out the window is not.
Well,
Darius isn't there. She falls out the
She
window and
falls out the
dies the same
window.
time the baby's born. Now Darius is born.
Right. But I mean, she's not Layla. Well, she's Layla when she falls out the window, but she's not Death when she falls out the window. She's the fall.
Right.
And die.
Okay. So just context-wise,
Yes.
This whole book takes place in India, and the gods are the Hindu pantheon. So Death is Kali. They never tell names of anybody.
Yeah, they never. The word Kali is not printed in the book.
You don't need to know anything about anything.
Yeah.
It's just given to you as is. Like, I think a minimal amount of knowledge that I have when like, oh, okay, cool, they're doing this sort of thing.
Right.
'Cause
She's blue and has 6 arms.
it hasn't come into effect other than like, oh, that's a cool design up front.
Yeah. But, I mean, again, she doesn't look like that throughout the book. She was like that in the first couple of pages.
Right. Yeah. So Darius is born. We see the birth, like you said, and then there's Laila Starr, who, to me, it looks like she kills herself. It looks like she jumps out the window. People like they have a thing. It's like, well, no one saw if she jumped or she fell or whatever.
Right.
But it looks like she was headed to just kill herself. When the goddess of death is fired, she makes a request to be like, hey, can you just put me next to this baby so I can go kill it? Her idea is, I'm going to kill Darius, this child, so he can never create immortality. And then, boom, I'm back in.
Yeah,
They need
I
me
got my
again.
job. I'm back.
And the closest thing is the body of this girl who just died in the morgue. So she gets thrown in
she's
there.
been dead for 20 minutes.
And now, Death has become Laila Starr. They are one and the same. Laila Starr's gone. Like, whatever person she was before, gone. But Laila Starr is now Death.
Well, she was a media student, class of 2019,
Whoop.
because that's the
Not anymore.
the scenario they set up for the party.
You're the one who loved it. I'm waiting for you.
Well, you jumped in between. I was already gone.
I would just provide in the context that it's the Hindu pantheon, just to kind of give that everything's in India. Like, I think it's what I liked about the book is anytime we step away from like standard like Western like trappings and tropes, anytime we can get any kind of other culture kind of like wrapped up in the story, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's not just white people doing white people stuff.
yeah. I also thought it was like just the right amount that I didn't have to like be forced to go look stuff up or like all right, I have to educate myself on this now.
I think the only thing that you really needed to know was that the caste system exists in India, or had existed in a long time. They've kind of changed some stuff up legally, but
Are you talking about the chapter about the
Bardon,
farmhand?
Bardon, because he was either like, the way the caste system is set up is like there's a top, there's a middle, there's a bottom, and then there's the untouchables, and like it's stratified like that, where like literally there's no crossover, you don't interact unless it's like in work kind of confines.
Yeah, I had like maybe a little. I felt like there was a connotation there, but I didn't really see what it was, because I know he was a farmhand. He was there to like tend to the crops, the trees, the jackfruit and the mangoes, and what else was something else.
I don't remember, but fruit trees.
Yeah. And he was a little kid who liked to go out and hang out with him, and like, would sit on his shoulders and shit like that. But like, he wanted to go offer him fruit, and the parents are like, no, like the fruit's not for him. you know.
Yeah, it's inappropriate.
But and I don't know why it was inappropriate. I guess because of what you're saying with the class system.
Yeah.
But like, it also said that and they give him rice and they give him stew and they give him milk, and it's like, well, it sounds like he's like well cared for.
He's being paid in food though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he is basically a slave.
It's not quite like that.
He's not getting paid. He's being sustained.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because they didn't get too much into the workings.
No, I mean they give you the gist because at this. Okay, we're gonna reset here. Death becomes Layla. She goes to kill the baby. She can't.
Right.
Right.
And she can't do it because like it's different to take a life as a mortal than as an entity.
Right. She feels a physical difference as it. Also, she has a ghost friend in here, Mun Mun.
Yeah, she meets Mun Mun in the morgue. Mun Mun is a ghost of a little girl who basically just likes being around people, and that's why she stays at the hospital. And Mun helps her escape.
The best thing about that is because she's been around the hospital so long, she's aware. Like she's essentially a trained doctor.
Yeah,
like she has the medical knowledge. Yeah.
Yes.
So she can't kill the baby. Mun Mun helps her escape by possessing a nurse that lets her through.
Because Mun Mun's great in like the fact that like, oh, people are coming now. Like people are coming. Like then you were missing. People are going to look for you, and now you're here holding the baby.
Another cool part of the story is every issue she has a new friend, but it's a really weird friend.
Yes.
No normal friends.
Right.
Everything's like, oh, you're talking to that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Layla escapes.
I really like the art too.
The art is very good. I like the art as well.
The color theory on it is very, very like I like the pastels. It's very colorful.
Yes.
For what could be misconstrued as a dark story. Because I don't necessarily feel it's dark either, but
It is not a dark story. No. It's tying back into the Hindu thing. It's a journey through life. She's like it's samsara. Like she's learning how to be a person and coming to terms with stuff.
And immediately upon running out of the hospital, she's hit by a truck and dies.
Yep.
There's also a level of comedy to it.
Absolutely.
Where it's just like I think it hits on all the marks. Like it's funny, it's dramatic. Like I teared up at parts towards the end. Artwork's beautiful. I think the sentiment behind it's beautiful. I think this book wins on fucking every mark.
I'm happy for you. And then she wakes up
with Prana,
and it's the first time that she realizes, hey, Prana's helping me out.
And at the end of I don't know if is it every chapter, but it's every time she wakes up with Prana, it gives you 8 years from the day Laila Starr died twice.
Yeah.
Because she fell out the window and she got hit by the car.
It gives you the time jumps because we follow Darius, who's the little boy, from birth to child to teen, early 20s, into old man. Like, we get the journey through his life.
Yeah.
But Layla always stays the same because she's never been alive long enough to age.
Yeah. Book 2 is The Knowledge of Crows because she meets a new friend named Ka, who is a crow.
And crows, apparently, I did not know this. I didn't know crows in Hindu were psychopomps. Psychopomps are things that bring your soul to the underworld. I like Ka.
Yeah, Ka's fun.
Cool. Yeah.
Just the introduction, too, where it's like, Ka, and she's like, uh-huh. And she's just talking to the crow, and then he's like, who? And she's like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah. Yep. This is the issue with Bardon. So Darius is 8, and we get the whole relationship with him and Bardon.
Which that in itself is a beautiful story.
Yes, it's very nice. Like I said, I think this might be my favorite issue out of them. I do like the cigarette issue too. But this is Darius's first brush with death. In 2 ways. We get the whole story about Bardon, and then we find out that Bardon has died. And Darius is very close to him.
Yeah, he grew up, his family owned a piece of property like on the outskirts of town that had all the orchard trees that we were talking about, the fruit trees. Sapadilla was the other. It was mango, jackfruit, and sapadilla.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
But anyway, Bardon tended to these trees while Darius was a little boy and hung out with him.
Yeah,
like it was like his only friend.
Yeah, it was like super kind, patient with him.
Yeah. But then Darius's family moved away, and he only heard about Bardon in like drips and drabs, like, his daughter graduated college, or his daughter's getting married, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then his daughter came to visit because he had passed.
And he was having a funeral, but it was inappropriate for his family to go to his funeral because of the caste system.
Right.
Separation. He runs away from home, and he ends up going to the funeral, which is a nice little thing. And in doing so, he crosses paths with Laila. Laila ends up there as well, and they have a conversation on the beach. It's a neat little back and forth, because she doesn't know who she's talking to, and neither does he. And then Laila kind of gets coerced into the funeral procession. She's given, what kind of flowers did he use? It's not...
I forget.
It's chrysanthemum?
Yeah, chrysanthemum.
Yeah. But she's putting out chrysanthemums into the river. But this is a river where, like, souls go.
Well, that's what...
where the memories go.
They had a conversation about that. Well, her and Darius, they have a conversation where they're talking about how whatever you commit to the water stays in the water.
Yes. Yeah. And
so when they commit these flowers to the water, like they're committing the souls of the past to the water,
yeah,
they stay there.
Mm-hmm.
So when Layla's in the water, all the spirits in the water start to grab her and drag her under.
Yep, because they remember her because she's deaf.
Yeah.
And she drowns.
But she doesn't realize it, because Call comes and grabs her, and she says, "Thank you for saving me." Because saving you, I'm a funeral crow, my dear. I only carry the souls of the dead. She's like, oh.
Yeah, and you can see it in the art, because now he's giant and he's carrying her by her shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a nice sentiment in the story with Bardon, and Bardon says it, because when they're seeing each other for the last time, or who says it? I think it's Bardon, but the quote's, "No one really goes away as long as you are remembered." So as long as your memories persist, so do you.
But she drowns and wakes up with Prana again, and 12 years from the day Laila Starr drowned.
Yeah. The next issue is the cigarette issue.
Yeah, Up in Smoke, it's called.
This issue is narrated by Laila's cigarette.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's like, you don't realize what's happening at first, and like, oh no, it's a cigarette. Like, you very, like, within a page or two, you're like, oh,
sure,
cool.
Well, what helped is the smoke streaming between the thought bubbles and the clouds on top of the thought bubbles. And I'm like, oh shit. I was like, you are the cigarette. It's so weird.
So this one, the two of them cross paths again.
Yes.
Again, like, Darius is like late teens, early 20s. He was just broken up with, and his best friend Zaf just died.
Oh, his girlfriend breaks up with him, which is a weird way to break up. She plants a big kiss on him and then whispers in his ear, "I'm breaking up with you." And Laila was smoking a cigarette on the couch and had gotten up and walked away. And then Darius came over and sat on it. His girlfriend breaks up with him, and he picks up the cigarette that Laila left, which is like almost entirely, because the cigarette's got like shit to say.
Yeah.
You know, what he said something about like being, he's like, I had spent all of the last week in her jacket pocket listening to her heart. I might even had a crush on her, but had I had known how things would turn out in the end, because like she just abandons him. She's like, newly aflamed and abandoned to ponder life upon my own gaudy memento mori. So deep for a cigarette.
Yeah, as I said, the cigarette issue is probably my top. I think I like the crow issue, but the cigarette issue I think maybe wins out just from the dialogue.
Just from a creative standpoint.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting stance to take. Darius takes a cigarette, smokes it, walks out to the balcony, has another conversation with Laila. Like, just in chance. Again, they don't know who each other are. He kind of has an idea, because of the connection that the cigarette has to Laila, he gets a little, like, zap of, like, I don't know what the word is. He gets a little bit of insight. He doesn't know that she's deaf, but he has, like, a feeling.
He has, like, this whole flashback story about the dynamic between Zaf and his girlfriend. Yeah,
you learn why the breakup and the death hurt.
Yeah, and he gets mad at Laila, right? For like, what does he say? He's like, "What makes you the authority on?"
Yeah, because she's kind of in a like do whatever kind of phase, where she's kind of learning how to be human. So she's like into the pleasures. So she's doing, she's drinking, eating, drugs, sex. She's doing all those things.
Yeah. She's it says that in the beginning of this chapter that she's like delved deep into all the mortal pleasures.
Mm-hmm. But that's the issue.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you find out that like the cigarette becomes sentient to a degree and powerful. Because what's the line? Because he says a moment on her lips. I don't know why I'm looking in the book. I left my notes.
If you got notes, use those.
Yeah, what makes this Marlboro omniscient? Kissed by death brings untold power. And it's just like, okay, so like this, we got a chapter narrated by a cigarette because a god took a drag off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, which I thought was funny, in the flashback story with Zaf and Darius and his girlfriend, they're hanging out in a pillow factory.
Mm-hmm.
And Zaf was a bit of a graffiti artist. And one of the things written on the wall is, "Dicks on walls are the purest form of art."
Yep, that's true. Absolutely true. They're everywhere.
That's hysterical. But that is basically the thing. Is Darius finished the cigarette. He gets annoyed at Layla for being, I don't know, so enlightened and intelligent, and he's grieving, and he's like, stop trying to like basically make sense of my pain.
Mm-hmm.
And he discards the cigarette butt, which was not put out all the way.
Mm-hmm.
A tiny ember sets the apartment party on fire, where, guess what? Everyone gets out except for one girl who is burnt alive there.
Yep. And then 16 more years pass.
Yeah, 16 more years pass.
At this point, Layla's given Darius's address by Prana. He's like, I kept an eye on him. This is where he's at.
And that's chapter 4, is Conversations with God. I love this chapter too. So like that's the thing. Like we have all the weird friends. You
Ghost,
Crow,
Cigarette.
This one might be my favorite. Like this one's really sad. Like I was good with the book. I didn't like all the connotations of death and losing family and like the sentiment with what's his name, Bana,
What?
the farm guy.
You just sucked it out of my head. Bardon.
Like that was a beautiful story, but that was like a beautiful story about friendship. Like yeah, it's sad he dies, but people die, whatever. Like this thing really got me. This is where I started to get emotional over the fucking temple.
This is tragic, yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is a little more tragedy built into it, sure. Especially because what's going on with Darius too.
Not even Darius, just the temple. Just this like environments change and people migrate and leave, and I'm very connected to places I grew up around that aren't there anymore.
Right.
So like this kind of like
struck a nerve.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever neighborhood they're in now.
Remember, this is in India.
Mm-hmm. Apparently had a heavy Chinese population.
Mm-hmm. They came in for work at something. I forget what it was.
Right.
But at one point, I think this Wei's grandfather came to work in India at whatever the thing is because the work was there.
So there's a Chinese temple that Layla gets the address wrong. I guess Prana got the address wrong. Mm-hmm. So she's slightly off from where she wants to be. There's a Chinese temple. And the Chinese temple is sentient. Like it talks to Layla. It has a personality. And, she's expecting to find people there because the doors were open. And the temple basically tells her a story about this guy Wei, who's like the only Chinese guy left around. And, he was concerned about him because he hasn't shown up in a couple days. And he cares for him. Like he sweeps his stairs and he cleans his altar. And, he was there watching it be built when his grandfather came there for work. And now, like, all the Chinese people are gone. And Wei's the only one there. So he's the only visitor to the temple. But the temple knows the building and the address that Layla's looking for, so it gives her direction and asks her to check on Wei as a favor. And then she goes and visits Darius, which is awful.
Yeah, Darius is having a hard time.
Yeah.
His wife has just died from cancer.
and his partner. They both died from cancer.
Same person.
I thought it was like a business partner.
His wife and business partner.
Oh, okay.
Not like
I thought it was two separate people.
No, it's in one.
Then he could have just stopped at wife, because he was a wife and business partner.
Well,
it's
just
like
it was the newspaper that said it. It wasn't.
Yeah,
It wasn't him.
There's also pictures of like him with his arm around a guy, like he's got a buddy, and there's pictures of the family with the wife. So I was going by art too.
Okay. His wife's dead from cancer.
His wife's dead from cancer. He's got a son.
Yep.
He's drinking and angry.
He's very angry. He knows who she is.
Yeah, at this point, he
and he makes the connection that
calls her out by name.
She's only showed up after there's been a death in his life. Showed up after Bardon, showed up after Zaf, now showed up after his wife, and so he's putting it on her. Like so much, like he gets so angry that like he grabs her, like he gets violent.
Yeah,
and it doesn't get to progress any further because his son walks in. And in that room, like, he vows to end death, like, to her face. She's like, I'm going to, like, he's going to create immortality. Like, he's going to make it happen now. That's kind of it. Their interaction's just, it's rough just because of what he's going through. And then Layla finds out what happens to Wei.
Yeah, Wei, she goes and checks on Wei. He's passed. And she goes and tells the temple. And throughout this issue, it's been torrential downpour, and the temple tells her, like, you're soaked, stay here tonight,
stay a while,
the night here, like, it's a safe place to stay.
Yep, just when you leave, make sure you leave the doors open.
But yeah, that's like what Wei would do. That there was open door policy. It's like,
well, he just liked to be open to the world.
To anyone to come in. And the temple collapses.
Yeah, in the night, it's overcome with the flood, and the temple collapses on Layla.
So she dies again.
With the temple.
Yeah.
And this time, Prana had to make the deal to bring her back. Now he's got to call in favors to get her. And it's been 28 years.
And he says, he's like, I don't think they like you upstairs very much. Like, the God and the higher-ups.
But even though it's been 28 years and he's an old man, Darius still hasn't delivered immortality to the world.
So Layla's got some time.
Yep. He lives alone. He takes care of the injured animals. He's the old man in the neighborhood.
But that's in the next chapter. It was book 5, poetry. We start off on a beach. Little girl finds a hurt puppy. It's on death's door, and this little girl walks 6 miles to Darius's house because he's a crazy old man who can help animals. At this point, how did they describe him? A drug-addled, drink-maddened hierophant who took in all manner of hopeless causes and somehow found a way to keep them alive.
So, Layla goes and visits him again. Turns out he's dying from a brain tumor, and she stays with him. She just spends time with him. Like they're friends.
And winds up helping him, like becoming an aide in their mission to save animals. Right? She's like, she says we saved a lot, but we lost a bunch too. And
yeah, it's just nice to see her like be the most human she's ever been, giving up her time, essentially charity work, working with the person who she at one point wanted to kill, just coming to terms with like this is how it is.
Well, at the same time, he also wanted to apologize to her because she was someone he wanted to kill.
Sure. Well, he realizes that, like, it wasn't her fault all this stuff happened.
Right.
Yeah. We also find out that he figured out immortality on his 49th birthday, and he just shoved it in his shoebox and never did anything with it. Yeah,
that was funny. He's like, I already did, you see. I invented immortality 3 weeks after my 49th birthday. Which is funny, is like, because I remember the part where he's like, he's like, I did it, and then I went and I had a nice walk, and I ate some cotton candy, and I saw a movie by myself, and then I put it in a box and shoved it in the closet and never did anything with it.
Well, because he didn't have there was no, like, joy in it. There was nothing there. And he sacrificed so much. Like, he drove his son away. He broke the relationship with his son because he was so caught up in his wife's death that he forgot he had someone else to take care of. And then he threw himself at work, and it just broke their relationship.
Yep.
Which he at least amends a little bit because he calls his son, and the son comes to spend time with him a little bit.
Yeah, she even asks him to use his invention, because he says, he's like, when you showed up here today, I thought you were here for me. He's like, I'm dying. Like, they gave me 6 to 10 months.
It's been 14.
And he's like, it's been 14.
Yeah.
So he's overdue. He's on borrowed time. And she asks him, she's like, you can use the box on yourself. Why don't you just use it on yourself? And he's like, no. She spends the night, and he calls his son while she's sleeping, and she leaves when he shows up.
Yeah, she tried to remove herself so they can have the time.
So they can have their time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she takes the box to the beach.
Yeah, Darius lets her know where the box is, so she can do whatever she wants with it.
Yeah, thanks her for everything. And said, if you don't mind, could you clear out the shoebox from my closet? So she puts it in the water, and Prana shows up. And then that's it. There's who's to say exactly how things end? If there's one thing we have learned, it is that life's endings are bereft of answers. I said, was Darius Shaw truly visited by death in his last days? Did that mean Laila Starr had her job back? Or did life resign itself to death? And did Laila and Prana set out to new beginnings on a beach somewhere in Gao? I don't know. That's how it ends. I liked it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's fine. I put it at a mid-tier book. I don't put it at a top-tier book.
Okay.
There's a good amount of stuff I liked in it. It's one of those things where I have read it, and I will never think about it again.
Yeah, I just sometimes when we're so far apart on something that when you say something's so high tiered in your book, and then I'm like, I hated that. I'm so bizarre on how we could be so far.
It's personal taste, baby.
Oh, I know.
It depends how things resonate.
I know. I just
Like I said, I like the Hindu flavor. I like the weird angles on stuff sometimes, but it's one of those things where I could just read it and be done with it, and that's it.
I know, but ever since you said I Kill Giants was one of the best things ever.
Yeah, I think that's a top tier book.
I can't look at the artwork. The art was horrendous. This is a masterpiece of artwork next to that.
Yeah, it's very good.
The colors is just phenomenal. And I knew it. As soon as I started reading this and I started to like it that much, I'm like, Mike's not going to be impressed. He's not going to like it.
I don't do it on purpose. Yeah, definitely not on purpose. Yeah, I don't have much to say outside of what I already have. I enjoyed those aspects.
I thought it was great. I'd recommend it to tons of people.
Okay. Now's your shot.
Yeah. Go read this book. Highly recommend it. You know it's kind of funny? I collected this by issue and never read it. I have all the issues. And I never read it. Just sat in a fucking box.
Okay. All right.
I read a page online of a conversation between her and Kaw. And I went, are you kidding me? I was like I own this and I haven't read it. I'm like, are you shitting me? This is hysterical. So that's why it popped back up, and I was like, yeah, this has to go on the list.
Cool. Got anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. If you want to give us suggestions for something we should read in the future, you can do that at thecomiccryptcast@gmail.com. And you can follow the store on Instagram and Facebook. You can see the trades and things that we do get in on a weekly basis. And Brian said go read this book. I think you should read it. It's fine. Go read his book.
We loading up the hearse, throw it in reverse. I come from the church of the Marvel Universe. Bodies getting stuffed in the bags like comics. The hardcore get it while the soft bitches vomit. I came to this earth on a radiated comet. Now the planet is in perilous danger because I'm on it. Fly super villain with the superpowers in me. Got the rare issues and all my shit is minty. Body like Ben Grimm, suckers I be beating down. Look around and we be found chilling out in Eaton Town. I be at the comic crib stacking up the the kryptonite. Doomsday and Superman every time I grip the mic. Dark Phoenix overloading, supernova, sunspot exploding. I'm the Punisher reloading, Bobby Drake when he's frozen. Storm forming, ominous clouds over the ocean. Working with Professor X to master my emotion. Have you posing in the box, whether you know it or not. I'll easily bag your bitch like Logan did to Scott. Mr. Sinister plots when I administer shots to clone Gene from a jeans. Then this shit'll get hot like Inferno. Burn slow, humans are ash. God loves, man kills in the days of future past. Now I'm working on a science lesson. Me and Brian Stratton, a rat in a cage who can't stop buying X-Men.
Like a flower that blooms in the spring. You were beauty, you were